I want you to remember something for me. The last time your stop loss got hit. Not the time you got stopped out and then the market reversed. We all remember those with crystal clarity. No, I mean the last time it just hit. The trade died. You lost the money. What did you feel in your body? Was it a hot flush up the back of your neck? A sinking feeling in your gut, like the floor just dropped out? Maybe it was a quick jolt of anger, and your hand shot out to close the trading platform altogether. For me, it was always a tightness right here, a constriction, followed almost instantly by this narrative. This voice in my head that started justifying, excusing, blaming. Stupid algorithm. If I'd just held on 5 more minutes. The spread was wide. They're hunting stops. My stop loss wasn't a tool. It was a personal insult. It was the universe's way of highlighting my failure in bright, blinking red. I'd said it because every book, every guru said I had to. But in my heart, I resented it. I saw it as a form of self-sabotage, a limit on my potential genius. What I'm going to tell you today sounds like a contradiction. My single greatest edge in the markets, the thing that finally steadied my equity curve and let me sleep at night, came when I stopped fighting my stop loss and started, genuinely, to appreciate it, to rely on it, to love it. And when I say love, I don't mean a Hallmark card kind of love. I mean the kind of love you have for a fire alarm. You hope you never hear it scream. But if it goes off, you don't argue with it. You don't say, it's probably just a false alarm. I'll wait and see if the sofa actually catches fire. You get out. You trust it. Because it's there to save your life, not to criticize your interior decorating. This isn't a lesson about where to put it on a chart. This is a lesson about where to put it in your head. This is trading psychology surgery, and we're starting with the tumor of ego. Let's rewind. To understand the shift, you have to see the old battlefield. My mind, during a live trade with a stop in place, was a circus of cognitive distortions. The trade is active. Price is drifting south, approaching my bright red line. Phase 1, rationalization. My brain, this magnificent machine built for survival, goes to work not to protect my capital, but to protect my self-image. The thesis is still sound. It whispers, look, the volume is low. It's just a liquidity grab. The daily trend is still intact. This is just noise. I'm not analyzing the market anymore. I'm curating evidence to prove I was right. Phase 2, negotiation. This is where the hand hovers over the mouse. What if I just move it to the next swing low? That's actually more logical. I'm not canceling it. I'm optimizing it. I'm being dynamic. Or the classic, I'll turn it into a mental stop. Let's be brutally honest. A mental stop is a fairy tale we tell ourselves when we're not brave enough to have a real one. It's an emotional IOU that never gets paid. Here's the cruel trick the market plays on us. Sometimes, just often enough to be addictive, this works. You move the stop, price kisses where it used to be, and rockets to your target. The dopamine hit is immense. You didn't just win money. You won an argument against the rulebook. You feel like a rebel, a market whisperer. This experience is catnip for the ego. It trains you to distrust your own system. But the other side of that coin is a disaster. Because the other times, the majority of times, price doesn't reverse. It slices through your new, logical level with ease. And now, the emotional stakes are higher. You're not just in a losing trade. You're in a losing trade you personally intervened in. You're not a passive victim of the market. You're an active co-conspirator in your own downfall. That's when the manageable 1% loss becomes a 3%, 5%, 10% nightmare. The kind of loss that doesn't just hurt your account, it silences you. You stop trading for days out of shame. You've broken your own trust. I was treating my trading plan like a buffet, taking the entries I liked, leaving the risk management I didn't. My stop loss was the broccoli on the plate. I knew it was good for me, but I sure didn't want to eat it. The change didn't come from a moment of inspiration. It came from a moment of exhaustion. I was tired. Tired of the emotional roller coaster. Tired of the post-trade guilt. Tired of my own excuses. It was a Tuesday, I think. Nothing special. I'd taken 3 trades that week. All 3 hit my initial stop loss. Not a big deal statistically, but it felt like a conspiracy. I was simmering. I blamed the FOMC minutes. I blamed the thin market. I was this close to blaming my internet provider. Just to punish myself, I opened my trading journal. Not to look for setups, but to wallow. I scrolled back through months of trades, and I forced myself to do one simple, painful thing. I tagged every single trade where I had moved my initial stop loss after placing the trade. Then I looked at the average loss of those tagged trades versus the average loss of the trades where I'd just let the stop get hit like a good little robot. The difference was horrifying. It wasn't even close. The adjusted stop trades lost, on average, more than 3 times as much. 3 times. My genius interventions, my dynamic adjustments, my ego-protecting maneuvers, they were literally my biggest source of significant loss. And then I saw the second layer, the opportunity cost. The capital tied up in those bleeding, hope-filled trades was capital that wasn't available when my actual edge, my A+ setup, appeared on the chart 2 days later. My meddling wasn't just losing money. It was preventing me from making money. That was the flicker. The data was a cold splash of water. My feelings about the stop loss were a lie my ego told me to preserve the illusion of control. The stop loss itself was neutral. My relationship with it was pathological. So, I started an experiment. What if I treated my stop loss not as a critic, but as my most trusted employee? What if its job wasn't to tell me I was wrong, but to protect me so I could keep being right in the future? This is where the reframe happens. It's everything. The old story, my stop loss limits my profit. The new story, my stop loss grants me my freedom. Think about the weight of a live trade without one. The anxiety is immense. You're glued to the screen. Every tick is a personal victory or defeat. You can't walk away. You can't think clearly. The trade owns you. The stop loss is a pre-negotiated exit contract. You define the terms before you're emotional. You say, for this opportunity, I will risk exactly this much, not a penny more. Once that order is in the market, your job is done. You have literally outsourced your discipline to a machine. The market can do anything now. It can whip, it can stall, it can fake you out, and it doesn't matter. Your risk is defined. The uncertainty is gone. That is profound freedom. It means you can walk away. You can go for a walk, make lunch, live your life. The trade is no longer a psychic vampire sucking your attention. It's a closed-loop system. Either it hits your target or it hits your freedom price. That's what I started calling it. Either outcome is a successful completion of the system. This was the revelation. Loving your stop loss means valuing your psychological capital more than you value being right on any single trade. It means trading to preserve your ability to trade tomorrow, not to win an argument with today's price action. Your stop loss is the bodyguard for your trading career. It steps in and takes the hit so you don't have to. Do you get mad at your bodyguard for doing his job? Okay, theory is great, but how do you operationalize this? How do you go from resenting that red line to feeling gratitude for it? You hack your own psychology with deliberate practice. Step 1. The renaming ceremony. Words have power. Stop loss is a terrible name. It focuses entirely on the negative outcome. I banned it from my vocabulary. You need a name that reflects its true, strategic function. My favorite is the freedom order. Others I've used, strategic exit point, the risk gate, or my walkaway price. Say it out loud when you place it. I am entering here, my target is here, and my freedom order is here. This linguistically frames it as an active, empowering choice, not a passive admission of defeat. Step 2. The celebration protocol. This will feel absurd at first. Do it anyway. When your freedom order gets hit, and you did not move it, that is a win. Say it. Nice. My system worked. Perfect. Risk managed. The trade was a loss. Your execution was a win. You followed your plan. You treated your future self with respect. That is the only thing you can control. Celebrate the control, not the outcome. Over time, this rewires the emotional response from shame to quiet professional satisfaction. Step 3. The post-mortem autopsy. Now, with the trade closed and the emotion discharged, you can analyze the setup neutrally. This is where you learn, not why did I lose, but was my entry premature? Did I chase? Was my freedom order placed in a logical zone of invalidation, or was it arbitrary? Did I risk an appropriate percentage of my capital? This turns the loss into pure, sterile data. You're not a wounded animal licking its wounds. You're a scientist reviewing an experiment. This shift changes everything. It moves trading from a game of prediction to a game of probability and self-management. My job is no longer to be a hero. My job is to be a diligent, unemotional executor of a statistical edge. My stop-loss, my freedom order, became the cornerstone of my confidence. It's what allows me to press the button on a trade with conviction because I know my downside is contained. It's what allows me to have a life outside of the charts. It transformed from being the prison guard of my potential profits to being the liberator of my time, my attention, and my peace of mind. The market is chaos. You cannot control it. You can only control your exposure to it. Your stop-loss is the master control valve. When you love it, you are loving your own sanity, your own sustainability, your own future in this game. So here is your challenge, starting with your very next trade. When you set that order, I want you to pause and consciously think, this is the price at which I buy my freedom back from this trade. If it gets hit, acknowledge the gift. It gifted you your time, your capital, and your clarity back. It freed you to find the next opportunity, unburdened. If this idea of trading for freedom instead of glory resonates with you, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm this is the kind of deep, psychological work this community craves. Subscribe to Losing Traders Psychology for more frameworks to fortify your mind. And I desperately want to know, what's the most convoluted, creative excuse your brain has ever crafted to convince you to move a stop? Mine involved a news headline from a foreign country and a vague belief in harmonic cycles. I'm not proud. Share yours below. Let's laugh at our old selves together. Thanks for your time. Remember, the goal isn't to never be wrong. The goal is to never be devastated. Protect your peace. I'll see you in the next one.